So
Yeah.
I'm recording this meeting so that you know. Okay, so now that you say that, what we have to really work on what we offer to the student. That's one thing, and it's absolutely imperative that you guys are well aware of it,
Mhm.
because one day it will be really necessary to explain and to give arguments, and you have to know why we're doing all this, why taking all this trouble about to offer this, because there is a very easy alternative to it, which is called a textbook. No one, at least that I know, in the platform that even in the platforms that operate online, no one provides so much for the students and for the teachers. It's either the teacher can check some material in shared files, or the student can have, some activities and so on. But not to up to the extent that we provide, and we do it for a reason. Eventually, and now I am not just explaining the system; I'm explaining the system to you. But remember, or think of it as unique selling points.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the things that you will have to understand, so that one day you can explain to people, so that you can communicate.
Okay.
Now, so why all the trouble? I was asking that question, and the trouble is because eventually these actions are going to lead to a significantly different experience, and therefore accelerated learning. And I will put some examples. So
I think
sorry, someone wanted to mention something, I think.
I don't know.
No? All right. Okay, maybe it was just background noise. So this uniqueness, it has to be communicated, and I'm going to refer to it in a minute, but let me first tell you, we have to communicate it pretty much everywhere. In class, after class, when, like, after class is the platform itself, when a student engages with the game, for instance, and they play in order to improve um, their performance, their progress. Everything has to communicate that. You guys, when you decide to write a blog post, when you have to convince a student in front of you about what's best for them, you have to be aware of all these principles and of all this uniqueness.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what is the uniqueness eventually? Why providing a game for the student? Why having this format of 30-minute classes? Why giving you all the material? Why asking you to evaluate every single one of them? Because all these details make us collect a lot of information about the student, and eventually they translate into something that the system can understand, that the student knows or doesn't know, and focus on the things that they don't know. So these are, let's say, that nuances or mechanisms that operate in the dark, so to speak. They're not visible. They're not so obvious for the student or for you, but you have to know them. And there are some tricky questions that you have to be able to answer. And of course, we have to help you a lot, because we have to provide more evidence. So, for instance, one question is, oh, I have the feeling that I'm not progressing. Okay, so for that, they have that feeling. We have to understand the feeling that they're not progressing is because everything is based on practicing pretty much everything orally. So, yeah, we're not going to ask people to fill the gaps in class. We're not going to ask them to match columns, to do something that is not communicative. Everything will be based on question, answer, interaction, a lot of interactions, and the student feels that eventually, what have I learned after all? And we have to tell them, we have to be able to tell them, okay, so this is what you have practiced through a brief recap at the end of the class, and we have to refer them all the time to their personal area, where their progress is listed. Okay, so
Yeah.
so any questions? Anyone?
No.
No,
Oh,
not
okay.
yet.
No.
Okay. Sometimes I hear background noises, and that's why I stop myself. But yeah. So all in all, you have to tell them, you think that you're not progressing? Is this your feeling? Check your progress. Where is this? Well, in the smiley face area, there you will see how much you've progressed in vocabulary and in structures. And play the game. Play the game after class. It's not about taking a grammar textbook. It's not about, complementing with doing homework. It's about playing. Play the game. Because the game has this effect on students that whenever they fail, the platform or the system gives them the right answer. They don't know a word, they fail a word, they learn the word through their mistake. If they know it, they move on. If they don't, then they learn it, and so on. So it is engaging. It is based on the more, obviously, the more you play, the more the more you engage with it, the faster you pace it. Therefore, the closer you are to the final objective, and we can predict their finishing date. And it turns out that if when we make numbers, this end date is much closer to any end date that they would have in an academy where they're in a classroom with 8 more people, 10 more people. So that then end date is closer and closer to them. So it's not necessary that they increase classes. And I know that it's contradictory because here our business is based on selling English classes. Therefore, I should be encouraging you, the more you can upsell, the better. But actually, for the students' benefit, it's with a couple of classes, 2 classes of 30 minutes a week, they will have enough, plus the game, plus exposure on their own through series, TV shows, etc., etc. So again, here, what we communicate is crucial. And why am I insisting so much on this? Because it's not because they're going to take 2 classes of 1 hour, so 2 hours a week, that they will learn fast. No, they won't. They will learn fast if they have classes in the open web classes. In the open web classes, another interesting thing occurs. They are classes of 3 people. They're not one-to-one, of 3 people. But strangely enough, we have analyzed, and it turns out that students actually improve more than in one-to-one classes. And this paradox has a very simple explanation. In a one-to-one class, we tend to deviate very much, and quite often, we tend to deviate from the objectives. It's human. We chat with the student. We create rapport, all these things that we bond. We ask about their weekend. We ask about their upcoming events. We ask and they tell us about things. And this rests class time that otherwise will be used in learning what they don't know. So although it's a paradox, turns out that or at least this is our conclusion when analyzing data, those students the same student in an individual class and in a shared class progresses faster in a shared class. And I'm talking about shared class of 3 people. Just bear it in mind. How will that make your decision change? Some people would ask, oh, I want to have 2 hours a week with you. And then the budget, the quote that you're going to present will be quite high. And then their obvious reaction is, this is expensive. Can you reduce your rate? And this is not in your interest, actually. It is in your interest, though, to understand what the student is telling you. I cannot pay so much. So what's the alternative? What can you offer to me so that it is affordable, and you also have a gain there. And the answer is, by far the best option is, if you want a one-to-one class, take 1 hour a week, and the rest of the time you can either join the open web classes or engage with the game. And even better, I would encourage everyone to join the open web classes, because that way the chances that we lose that student because of a price issue are much, much lower, and your gain is higher. Let me just quickly remind you that as teachers, for every student that you receive in a class, even though they're not your students, but if you're teaching your own group and you have one student, even though they pay you 14 euros, if you receive one or two more students, you're adding 7 euros, because um, the wages are split that way. What we cash from a student is 50% goes to the teacher, and then the rest, 40% is for the owner, 10% is for Oxinity. That's clear. But even though you, in your own classes, if you teach one student that is your own, and you have 14 euros from them, then Oxinity can allocate to more from all the rest of the partners, and you guys will be on 28 euros per hour rate, while the student will be still paying 14 euros. And even if you're not teaching, when you send your students to other teachers' classes in the open web mode, you're always adding 7. So even without teaching, you're increasing your rate per hour. This is the formula. But back to the student, back to what they see, I can only encourage you to take one of the links. And here is when I'll start sharing. Just give me a second. But you have to take one of the links that you have and just register as though you were a student. Just a minute. So here, you take from the promo button any of these links here.
Oh, yeah.
And register and do the process. Those teachers who have done it, for instance, I can see now in social media, I see a lot of screenshots, a lot of videos based on the game. And actually, it's a great way of presenting something new here. This is the landing page that all of you can test. Register here as a student, with a different email from the one that you've used here in im.oxinity.com. It should be a different email so that there is no confusion in our database. But when you do that, then you will have the perspective of the student, and this is very important to you. So all in all, right now is the right time to communicate very simple and transmit very simple messages. Okay, so first of all is we can accelerate learning. How is that? Because we use big data, technology of big data, that analyzes all your interactions and detects what you don't know. We focus on it in class, and the teacher, who is the quality exposure, then deals with it. So make sure that you practice that. Okay. 2, you can have this game for free, and now I'm referring to something more commercial. Use this game for free to engage and to speed up your learning process. And 3, the best quality price proportion that we can offer is that you join the open web classes twice a week, 2 classes of 30 minutes. For the student, that would be 60 euros. And these students can freely choose whenever where they want to take their classes. So they have a lot of flexibility to choose classes, and eventually it's a win-win. You have a gain, they have a gain. This is what we want. Remember, guys, very often your interest, what is in your interest, this is to increase your rate per hour, is pretty much incompatible with what is in the student's interest, which is to get the best bargain. So the solution is shared class. The student pays a little bit less, but you increase your rate per hour. And this is the mechanism that Oxinity makes possible for you. Now, from the point of view of the sales, again, here in Oxinity, you have all these different landing pages and resources. And yesterday I shared on, I suggested that you start by working through LinkedIn, for instance. You told me that you have it. And I shared a copy, a very brief copy, and a creativity. And I don't know whether you've been able to do that. If so, just tell me how it was, if there was any outcome, or it's too early, maybe.
Well, yeah, yesterday I worked on my LinkedIn page,
Mm-hmm.
so trying to improve it.
Okay.
And well, I haven't finished yet because I need to add some more details,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm working on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to do
Okay,
what you said. Yeah.
that's great. Let me tell you here something that is going to happen to you while doing. Um, and I'm talking from experience as well. Sometimes we work on something, and we all tend to make it perfect. We want things to be perfect because otherwise we're not happy. And because we want them to be perfect, we never release them on time, so we don't finish on time.
Mm.
But the truth is that that mindset is fantastic for academia, but it's not good for business.
Okay.
So we have to start adopting another mindset, which is the mindset of good enough.
Mhm.
So things are improvable all the time. And this is what we have to do all the time. So ever since we started, we've been improving everything. Our website, landing pages, communication, images, designs, every single thing. And I know that we're not done yet. We still have to improve. But we have to, have that objective, that goal to do something, anything every day. And we
Mhm.
have here with us sound examples. I know people that are not so worried about whether it's perfect or not, they just do. And then on the go, we improve. And on the go, we learn a lot. So here is my invitation. Whenever you do something, go for the good enough. Thinking, okay, I'm going to release whatever I'm doing, I'm going to send it,
Mhm.
and I'm going to observe and measure. If for some reason, if I'm lucky enough to have hit the click button, then I'll continue. But if not, I'll change. So guys, waiting to make things perfect is going to delay you. Instead, think of what can I do today so that I do an action today and I measure the results tomorrow. Yeah, if I don't do it today, then I cannot measure tomorrow. If I want to measure tomorrow, I have to do it today. And I think Georgina wants to mention something in this regard. Yeah.
No, just about this thing of trying to be perfect, which I include myself. But
Yeah.
it's true, you get a minimum chunk of something
Uh-huh.
and it improves with time because you keep working, and then you see an article about how to optimize, keywords. Then you see an article or somebody gives you an idea, you share with friends, you're like, I can do this better. So we're never going to get it perfectly at the beginning, but I understand that we want to be perfect. I just,
Mhm.
But
perfect
also,
will arrive.
yeah, but for you are the best of the examples that released a campaign that you thought it was quite crap, and look at the
Oh yeah.
at the outcome. So you did something in a rush, without elaborating, without, it's just English, play, whatever, and then you got a lot of clicks.
Yeah, Ramila. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I did that in a rush and fast because I was looking at the type of like visual language that people were using in those groups.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, I'm going to speak their language and see what happens. And
Yeah.
I nailed it. And it was away from my super duper perfect, cool designs concept.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's
Now,
the people that responded to that.
yeah, but now we have to tweak it because the response was high, but the lead quality wasn't so great. So we have to tweak it. Now, speak that language, but explain well that it's not for free.
Mm.
Okay, so but that's the tone maybe, so yeah. And that's the tone because well, I don't know. This is open to discussion, and here we all can participate. We obviously we don't have to be rude or anything. I'm not saying that, but it is true that sometimes you elaborate a lot and you're super happy with the outcome, and it doesn't connect with the reader for some reason, and you wonder why. Because from the point of view of my grammar is perfect, my semantics is amazing, I communicate a lot, I've included all these keywords, no reaction.
Mm.
And then you release something in a rush saying, hey, play this, it's great. And people start clicking, getting crazy. So there's a lesson there. There's a lesson that we will still have to learn. But all in all, my point is we can analyze and learn lessons when we do things. So let's start by doing. And Georgina's what Georgina has been doing is she has taken social media, and every single day she has shared content there,
Mm.
content that is her own content and other people's content, and other people's content is to be found here. As I explained yesterday, pretty much every day we have some, well, there is, maybe this is not finished yet, this blog post, but by the way, about blog posting, the webinar about blog, yeah, it's not, it's work in progress. The webinar about creating blog posts will be tomorrow at 12. But right now, you can just use all these resources here. They're ready to go, ready to be shared by clicking here on Facebook. It opens your Facebook, it takes your IDC, and you can share it. Or you can even copy the link here and send it in the way that you usually use to your contacts. But starting with your contacts is essential, because we're going to expand our list of contacts through LinkedIn, through Facebook, through personal calls that we do to associations, to companies. Um, and we can then, after that, we can connect with these people, we can contact them through different emails, whether you're going to choose to send them an email or just to share in social media. That's up to you, but you have to know that whatever you do, you will be doing it with your IDC, therefore the outcome will be for you. Okay. And now, thinking of, again, going back to sharing, I really have to encourage you to do it 3 times a day, 2, 3 times every day. There is enough material here for you to share, plus the ones that you may want to do on your own. But that will give you the chance to be read, to people to read you. So a very important thing is who sees you, who reads you, and where. So when I open LinkedIn, who will I see? Will I see Jazz? Probably no, not, because she's just started. Will I see Karen? Probably not. Who will I see? Definitely Georgina. She will be there. I know that. And not only me, all her potential contact, which is expanding, will see her. So she grew quite fast on LinkedIn with contacts, and all these people now, they're there. She can approach them one way or another. Yesterday, like one way or another means by posting things that they will read, sharing content of value, or individually with a message, with an offer. So this is what I shared yesterday. and you guys can use. So there was an image. I will share another one, very, very similar with tiny differences there, because the target is slightly different. So whereas yesterday the focus was on people that worked in companies and they could take their English classes in companies. Today, it's an individual that we may know from anywhere. It can be LinkedIn, but not necessarily working for a corporation or being in charge of a corporation or being the human resource director of a corporation, just a professional that needs to learn English. So for them, I'm going to share very quickly three resources. One is the image, a suggested copy, and a landing page. A landing page that you will have to personalize with your IDC. I'm going to do it now. But again, my worry is the text. I pretty much like it because I have included all the concepts and keywords that I wanted to mention. It is still to be seen whether or not how people react to it, and whether we can even improve that. Yeah, we will see it. But these are the emails that we're sending to our contacts now, and this is the email or the message that you can send to your contacts, which potential private students or just students for professionals that would need English. I'm going to share it now. While I'm doing it, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I would like to know um, how I can see my Oxinity email because I cannot find it anywhere.
Who is that?
Andrea.
Andrea.
Yes.
Andrea, you will see it once we give you because you are still external to the organization.
Yeah.
As soon as we register you on Teams, which will happen today, I guess, then you will receive an email with your login details to Teams.
Okay.
So you will see that you will be accessing with something that will probably say andrea.villalba@oxinity.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and a login there. That is you can use that for Teams, but this is actually an email address that you can start using. And for that, in your devices, like in your phone or in your computer, you set that you can add that account, and it is an exchange account.
Okay.
And the credentials are the same that you would be using to access Teams. Same username, same password.
Okay.
Probably Teams will ask you the first time you log in to change the automatic password to something that you come up with.
Yeah.
And this is then at that stage, or after you've done it, then you set this email in your devices.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
No,
it's fine for now.
Okay, we have there Mari Carmen, I believe, right? Yes. Mari Carmen, if you want to share quickly your experience or just some tips for these guys, or if you have any questions, of course.
Well, actually, Radmila, I do have a small question first. And going back to the game,
Yeah.
my question is for students that are already engaged with our open classes.
Yeah.
If they decide to do the game has absorbed all the information, right? That from the classes, which means that the game will start where they are, at the level they are.
Yeah. Definitely at the level that they are. Doesn't mean that at some point they don't repeat something through a different resource. So the repetition is not going to be what they've practiced in class, but about the content that they've practiced in class. In simple words, if they have practiced present simple in the game, at some point they will the system will ask them will have a check on the present simple, the present perfect as well.
Right, so it's reversed. It goes back and forth from the game to the classes and the other way
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
Okay,
all the
that's
time.
great. Okay,
Yeah.
because
All in all, from the two sources, we collect the details. So we have smiley faces, or the details is the student's acquisition, how much they have acquired in class and in the game, and then we cross-reference them, and when we see that 5 times they have done right the present perfect, we don't insist on it anymore. We move on.
Mhm.
That's
Okay.
how the algorithm works.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, right now, answering your question, what I'm focusing on is trying to work on the channel that sometimes we don't think about, I believe, or at least I don't, which is the clients that are already there,
Yeah.
the students that are already there, to encourage them for both using the game and for referrals for the ones that have been 3 months plus.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So how do you do that?
So what I've done is 3 or 4 actually different texts with keywords.
Yeah.
For example, for those that were interested once upon the time but never actually got to try the class, but
Yeah.
they had some interest, there I've created a text saying, if you try the class, you have the app with the game. Right?
Okay.
For the students that are already there that I know are not using the game, then another one encouraging them to use the game. For the ones that have been there 3 months plus, to actually go in the app and work on their referrals to get to lower the price and encourage other people. Why 3 months plus? Because I understand that if they register 1 month and they cancel, that would be 2 months. So whomever stays 3 months means that they're happy. So that would be a way to consolidate and create a link between people that they want to do the referrals. Now, what I've done, instead of throwing it out there like a big bomb, I've written that they have the right. This is a third text. They have the right to invite 7 friends to use the app for free. So these are people that I've never heard of and have never been interested. It's their friends, but I start with a number. So that makes them think about a number rather than all their contacts. That way that makes them think, who do I think of all my friends would actually be interested? That's a sharing point. Obviously, I imagine if they have more than 7, which I certainly hope so, if not, it makes them think straight to that. But if they do have more, they will come back and ask, hey, I've got an 8th one, what do I do with it?
Okay.
Just to sort of try out that idea to wake up some different interest or in a different way, if you like. So I have these 4 different ones, and then I've done this 4th one, which is more for people that I already know, that I've already spoken to, that is more easygoing. And I'm throwing that out at the moment.
Okay. All right. Seems interesting. What do you use any visual materials or
Well, actually, what I do have for now is simply a very short text, which I've been trying to shrink and shrink and shrink, and the landing page. I don't have any pictures which I can copy paste from all the documentation we have. That's no problem. I have put the buttons though of the game and the button of the personal information where they can find the referrals and the instructions.
Okay. Okay. Well, all right. So for some reason, it's not letting me share that picture. I don't know why. Just rejecting the document, so to speak, but I'll insist later. I wanted to share that with you, and I can't.
Maybe it's too big.
Sorry?
Maybe it's too big. Sometimes.
No, it's tiny.
Okay.
It's 259K.
Oh yes. It's not
Yeah.
that big.
No. Anyway, I'll find a way. I will share it in maybe in the team here. I'll find a way. Don't worry. I'll work on it after the webinar. Okay, so a couple of important points that Mari Carmen has mentioned here. Yeah, she, as far as I understand, okay, she has used the Salesforce, what she has generated over the past months, and in for each segment or each column, she has approached them with a different strategy, yeah, with a different message, so to speak. Now, if you are still new to it, obviously you will still have to uh, to build these sections. So you're not there yet. What she's doing makes perfect sense. Follow-up is one of the most important things in getting the objectives, because people have issues at the certain moment when they requested information. They had one circumstances. Now 3 months later they have others, and maybe their situation has changed. So follow-up is super important. We wouldn't have the contacts that we have had it not been for follow-up. So it's essential. Another thing that she has been using is discount voucher offers. So this is especially recommendable when you guys start. And you announce everyone that you now have this business, and as a courtesy, you're offering your contacts a discount to test the classes for free and a discount. So what can we use? We can use, for instance, this first campaign here that says link with 15% of a discount on open web classes and 7.5 on private web classes. With private classes, we have less margin, therefore we cannot, or at least I don't advise that you offer more of discounts. But with open web classes, there is that possibility. So a very simple way of doing it is clicking here on WhatsApp. You have to have the WhatsApp app. Oops, here it's all right. Well, let me see that, for instance. Yeah, I can send this to my husband in this case. It creates a thumbnail with a text that you can change. Yeah, so this is something that you guys can personalize. You can add your icons. You can add your your own text or go for that one, and then you can share. So with discount vouchers, we have actually got a lot of attention, right? Mari Carmen, you've been using that a lot, and it works quite well. The only thing that you have to then check always are clicks. So you go here, and you have to check what's going on after whatever you are doing. Not on the same day, on the following day, you will have enough information. So for instance, you will understand how many unique users have visited over the period that is listed here. In this case, 1 week, right? So 27 out of 200, almost 199 visits. But most of them were from people that my visits or other people that are not unique users. So maybe, I don't know, students that we already have, etc. But all in all, here you have some good information, some good insights. The froms are very important. The from is everything that you will put after this F here. Yeah, F equals whatever you put here will be printed here. So for instance, this is from a voucher. This is from a campaign. Facebook share is when I've shared things on Facebook. Whatever I've done with this reference as well. Even Google Adwords, these paid campaigns that Oxinity is doing, will help you through remarketing. That means, for instance, this means here, Google Adwords Madrid remarketing. Okay, this may be very or appear to be very complex, but actually you don't have to worry about it. You just have to understand it. So this is something that every time you're sharing something, so imagine that you're sharing this website, yeah, this link with your IDC. You have shared that once on Facebook, and then people see, people don't actually read clases de inglés para niños, IDC, blah, blah, blah. They don't read this. But they remember Oxinity, Oxinity, Oxinity here, Oxinity there. All right. Maybe they have first access this, they have taken a look, and then after a while, they go back to it. But now they don't remember what was that link, yeah? So they just type Oxinity here. Yeah. Okay. Now, if they access, having first access with your IDC, even though they access directly through Oxinity, then we have previously put them a cookie and we identify them as your clients. This is on one hand. So even though they would remember just Oxinity and access for the first time that way, because they first seen your IDC, they've clicked your IDC, it is remembered. And second, when they read an online newspaper or when they browse for whatever, so they want to buy a bag or a backpack, I don't know, anything, then they will see an advert there, which Oxinity pays Google to do. Yeah, we pay Google to have these display adverts. And in this moment, then they will say, oh yeah, I remember, I've seen that, let me check again, and then they register. So this is a lead from Google AdWords remarketing. Whenever you see GA, that's it. So this is something that benefits those who have put the link, their IDC in the first place. You get link or leads, or you get these people because of paid Oxinity campaigns. I have a lot. Look at this. These are all Google AdWords, yeah?
Okay.
So I have 2, 4, 8, 4, 10, 16 leads from that. Not leads, sorry, 16 clicks from that. And then LinkedIn share, MailChimp, Twitter, WhatsApp, YouTube. So these are the forms that I've used and then that people have clicked. And here, more specifically, what they have visited. So I'm sharing blog posts, and this is where they end up, what they end up checking. Many of the visitors that I have had. Yeah. So this is the analysis that you will also, I encourage you to do every now and then here in clicks. And this is very significant. The more clicks you have, even though you don't have immediate leads after that, we know that there is something that you're doing well. And then we can sit with you and say, okay, so tell me what you're doing. And then we can address your campaigns better. But this works when we have people that are doing things. When we have people that haven't started yet, that counter will be at 0.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So questions, guys? Any question on how to start and what to do?
No questions.
No questions?
Radmila, can I just ask, if I'm promoting in England, would that materials available obviously in English?
Some of the landing pages will be available, so I can tell me when you are ready to start, and I will create the code. I will send you the same landing page in English for either English classes or Spanish classes.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
One thing though, the game is available only in English for now. The game is not available in Spanish. Just bear that in mind.
Okay. So it's in English, yeah.
Okay. Marina, you have a question?
Now that you mentioned the game thing, I actually have a couple of people. Well, one person just joined Oxinity. He wants to learn Spanish, and when I was promoting it, I thought the game was available in Spanish as well. but he told me that it was not, and then he talked to Maria, and Maria told him to just change the language. But now you're saying that it's not available for Spanish learners?
No, it's not. It's not available. No matter how much he changes the language, he will be able to play in English. Maybe she misunderstood. Maybe she understood that the app can be read in English or in Spanish. Maybe that's what she understood.
Yeah, maybe that's what she understood. So when is that going to be available? Because of course, when he signed up, he thought he was going to have that as well, and now it's just the lessons. So the growth and the learning process is not going to be the same.
No, it is true. It is true. But where is that person?
In the United States.
In the United States. Okay, fine. So I cannot commit to a date, unfortunately. I cannot tell you very soon because it's a little bit more complicated than that. But I will tell you that we're going to start working on it. So as soon as we can, but I cannot tell you a date, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, that's something good to know because I didn't know that, and I've been promoting that for Spanish learners as well. And now I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I told you this was the situation, and it's not. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, really sorry. I hope.
Maybe, sorry, Marina, maybe you want to offer him a discount for that little misunderstanding while we get the game going.
Yeah, definitely. I will definitely do that. But he has signed up already, so like he was going to start this week. So I don't, and he has paid. So I don't know.
Well, if this becomes a problem, then we can see how we can compensate him. Mari Carmen is right.
Okay.
We'll come up with a solution for that.
Okay. Yeah. Should I tell him to speak to somebody in particular, or maybe
if you should tell him? Sorry, didn't hear you.
If I should, if he keeps telling me about this, should I tell him to speak to maybe Maria?
To speak to Maria. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Because I think that would be fair. If I'm offering something that is available, then
yeah, just let Maria know. And actually, I wanted to approach you. I had you in my list because you had quite a good traction before the holidays, and it's been quiet for you lately. Maybe we can work a little bit to boost your results again.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be great.
So okay, after the meeting, we can maybe agree on a date. Let me know when it's convenient for you.
Yeah, perfect. I'm more available now. It's just been a crazy couple of months lately, so that's why. But yeah, definitely. I'll message you after the meeting if you want.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, excellent. Georgina, questions on your part?
Yeah. Wait, can you hear me? Yes. So just to confirm what my colleague was saying.
Yeah.
We can go to the Salesforce, we can extract the emails from there, and I can put that in my MailChimp and send them some reminder, promotion, referral, discount, etc.
Yeah, although when you say extract, don't imagine anything automatic yet.
No. Copy paste.
Copy paste. Yeah. No, because it would be well, for teachers that have been longer, they obviously have a longer list. So we will have to make it an automatic process yet as well. But yeah. Absolutely advisable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is I have been playing around with a game, and the student of mine has been telling me about it, but the only thing I don't understand is, do you set a date, or does because I haven't seen where to set the date myself. I understand that you set a date on the game, and it tells you how long. I don't know.
You don't set a date. You still see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the system tells you the date. Now that is quite a new student, So he's been actually. This is Mari Carmen's student. Fran, that boy. Well, but he has been long enough to have some details already of progress, So he's getting there. He's this is his progress, as you can see, more red than anything, but that will become green after certain practice.
Okay.
And for structures as well. And according to the classes that he takes and the game, how much he engages with the game, then this is the date that we think he's going to stop needing more classes.
Okay, so that's why my date is so far away, because I don't take classes myself.
Because, exactly. I mean, yes.
The student was telling me, Jordina, I'm finished in 2022. Like, whoa, well, me 2025. Like, what?
No, it's impossible. It shouldn't take more than 3 years, though.
Okay, but I mean, mine was more than his. Okay.
Yeah, well,
okay.
Georgina, crack on with it, because otherwise, how will you learn?
I know. I know. The last thing I need to get, involved in this thing.
Yeah. Okay. So, Jazz, any questions on your part?
Yeah, as a beginner, as a newcomer, if I can just ask the others who've been doing this longer, when you start off, obviously you're going to promote not yourself, but also the company, which is a priority, and how Oxinity is a different business model. And the classes, the free classes you were referring to. So say you send out something and you get 5 people contact saying, yes, I would like a free class. But who would teach that if I haven't had the? So would you just pass it on to the community? I don't know. Say if I send out something and I get 5 requests, yes, I would love to. I like the concept. Could I try the classes, and then you guys pick it up, or how does it work?
So we send them to an open web class. They can, if they are happy to try an open web class, then they do one trial for free. Okay? No matter who the teacher is. Then that teacher is going to have one extra student, and that extra student will not be paying that trial class, but they will. But at least it won't represent extra resources for us. Now, if they insist on trying a private class, then it would be better that you can do something. Well, I'll explain that better on Thursday.
Okay, good.
But when they do a trial class, if you intend to keep the students, then it would be, of course, you who would be doing the trial class. Yeah, you do the trial class and you keep that student. You will continue with that student. If you transfer it to another teacher, then that other teacher could agree to have that class for free on condition that they keep the student afterwards. Not as a client, but as their regular teacher. It's a difference. You will always be the owner. Yeah, sorry. But they will be their regular teacher. But otherwise, if you have 5 people that are trying in an open web class, they can do that, and doesn't represent an extra resource for the system.
Okay, and then you have to try, obviously, to get them to commit to doing the classes, because I'll have a free trial and then you never hear from them again.
Yeah.
So that's the marketing comes in, and obviously,
So more than the marketing, because once they are in trial, then marketing has done what it had to do, so marketing is over. But now is the business management team, the business management team who is on top of that person. And they do a lot of follow-up, and they call and insist. We're not aggressive. We've never been, but we're very, on top of the follow-up. And of course, you sometimes end up not having a student, but it's statistics. Statistics. It's always 10 interested people will give you 5 trials, and with these 5 trials will become 3 registrations, more or less.
Yeah. The conversion rate. I was just interested what percentage of people have a free class and then you never hear from them again. I mean,
what percentage of more or less? 40% of the people.
Okay.
But doesn't necessarily mean that we never hear from them. Never. No, maybe
No.
they convert later.
Yeah, later on. Yeah, the conversion comes. Okay.
And again, we insist a lot on follow-up. So sometimes, as I said, circumstances change. That's why Mari Carmen is doing what she's doing. So she takes her contacts and she said, okay, so what's going on with you? When did you contact us? So I'm going to follow you up. And we are doing that on a regular basis.
So that's good, because the dedicated team will do all the follow-up and keeping on top of it and making sure. Okay.
That's it.
Great.
Okay, guys. Well, a pleasure talking to you. I have to go because I have a meeting right after this one at 1 sharp. But
okay.
I'll see you again tomorrow at 12. Yeah, tomorrow we saw again social media and blogging.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Super.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Mina. Ciao, ciao, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.